Bruce, it seems when it rains, it pours. Losing Lazar now as well, that's got to be disappointing.
Yeah, well, anytime you lose anybody, it's disappointing. But, I mean, hey, we've seen Sheldon do a lot of good stuff for us in the past, and he was here when we were doing well last year, so I think he'll fit in and give it his best shot, and I think he'll do fine.
We had an opportunity to talk to Patrick Alvin this morning, Bruce, and you were very good down the stretch last year and even into the offseason about just shutting out the noise and doing your job. Do you maintain that through all this with the winless start and lots of speculation about where the organization may or may not be going?
Yeah, I haven't read or heard anything because I don't read or listen to anything. So, I mean, we just come to work and do our job every day. And I think if you just look at practice, the guys are spirited. They're practicing really hard, and there's they're upbeat about everything, and they know that eventually this thing is going to end and we'll get on the right track again.
You touched on this after the game with Thatcher's 36 save performance, that he might be on the cusp of being that guy we saw go 40-plus saves on a nightly basis. How encouraged are you by that? He seems to be getting
Well, I think everybody is getting. Miller was getting better. I mean, and you see the last couple games, Bo Horvat's been really skating. So I think everybody's getting into that now. And obviously it's a slow start that nobody likes to see, but I think the guys are being acclimated and they're going through like a lot of, there's a lot of things going on as far as injuries and everything. So there's new lineups every day. So, I mean, and they're handling it well. I mean, it's funny. I don't know who makes up half this stuff, but I mean, when you hear about it, or you come to work and you hear about it, but that's a group that gets along well. They're good guys, and the coaching staff gets along well. Everybody's doing well. We just want to win.
Bruce, can you maybe give us a little bit more detail in regards to Hughes and Besser? Is this like nagging things that are just plaguing them from day to day, or is it more severe?
No, it's not severe. I mean, I'm pretty sure that next week that Hughes will be playing, and he was on the ice this morning, feeling a lot better. I think Besser's going on the ice tomorrow. So, I mean, it's not, long-term injuries that these guys have.
Is Brock's a continuation of what held him out in the preseason?
Well, I'm not here to end up telling you what's wrong with him, but, he'll be back on the ice pretty soon.
The Kraken knocked off Buffalo last night and have already beaten the Cup champs. So what's the tape showing you? What's the Kraken doing?
Well, the same thing they did when they beat us in Seattle in the preseason. They skate, they work, and they're going to be a difficult opponent. And they didn't like where they ended up last year, and they made some improvements. But they're a really good skating team, and they're starting to believe in themselves.
Since Jim brought up this idea of structure at the end of last season, there's been a lot of discussion since then to now about structure. And
only by you guys.
Well, it got mentioned by Patrick Alvin as well.
Mm-hmm.
That, the team has to play with structure. Is there any difference in how the team is, has the system changed?
Well, I mean, I think our support, we do more things in practice about support, and that's pretty well what we were talking about, is instead of being on an island and getting the puck, we're trying to do things as 3 guys, as 5 guys, and coming up the ice together rather than leaving it a one-on-one battle all the time.
But in terms of the X's and O's and how players are
we're still playing the only difference is our neutral zone's different than it was at the end of last year. That's the only difference.
Bruce, I know, injuries happen, and you talked about next man up and all that kind of stuff, but Quinn Hughes is a special player and means a ton to this group. How difficult is the idea of moving the puck out and transporting and all those types of things? And we saw a Carolina team that hemmed you in pretty good. What is the challenge for this group without your best puck-moving defenseman?
Well, I mean, you don't need me to answer that. You can answer it yourself. I mean, he is a great puck-moving defenseman, and they're hard to find. And when you take that out of your lineup, yes, another guys step in and they're doing as well as they can. But, I mean, the guys that's stepping in aren't Quinn Hughes. So, I mean, not complaining about their efforts or anything else, but, I mean, you're right. Quinn's a special player, and he can make plays that other people can't make.